Alright, what's up guys? So you probably have hit level 50 or almost level 50 in Lost Ark by now, and I just want to do a quick guide on Tier 1 content, the very first Tier 1 content you will get access to, and that's going to be the Chaos Dungeon. You will access this in North Vern. After you complete enough of the storyline quests, it will notify you and send you there to do your first Chaos Dungeon. And this will be, I hit 50 quite a bit ahead of time what I was expecting. I thought at level 50 I would instantly have access to in-game content. So if you get to 50 and you're wondering where's the end game, if you're not to Vern Castle yet, then just realize you have not accessed it, you haven't unlocked it yet. So in the Chaos Dungeons, you need item level 250 to enter the first one, and you will get this from the quest lines, basically just rewards and running some of the dungeons leading up to it. I had item level 250 gear by the time I got there, so I was instantly able to access it. And you can do the beginning Chaos Dungeon as many times a day as you want. However, only the first 2 times you run it and complete it will you actually get gear from it other than accessory pieces. So it'll show you when you go to queue for it that you've got 100 energy and it takes 50 energy per run to actually get the loot. And it doesn't really matter what the quality of the gear is. The stats are pretty negligible here. It's maybe like a 1% difference between a perfect piece and a garbage tier, low percentage piece, with the really only difference being in the weapon, because it has up to 3% increased damage stat on it. So that one I would recommend looking for a higher damage percentage weapon. And once you get your weapons, you're going to be farming all these mats in these dungeons, which, like I said, you can run it as many times as you want. And those are going to be used for upgrading your gear, which is how you will further increase your item level. So once you have item level 302 gear, so you've got 1 slot piece from the Chaos Dungeon, one item for each slot, not including the accessory pieces. You will have item level 302, and then this will unlock the Guardian Raid, which is sort of like a Monster Hunter quest type thing. You have to find the Guardian inside a relatively large map and DPS him down. You cannot see his HP, and you cannot heal yourself, and you only have 3 resurrects available, so do keep that in mind as you're fighting him. After a certain amount of time, he will sort of teleport, disappear to another part of the map, and you have to go and find him and repeat that. If you have a flare, which is just a consumable item, you can craft them in your stronghold or purchase them, or you've probably got some from other rewards. You can use that flare to instantly find his location. And these raids give you more accessories and the materials you need to upgrade your weapons and armor that you will get from the Chaos Dungeons. So, and just as a note, make sure to dismantle any of the Chaos Dungeon gear you get or from the Guardian raids. It will give you materials used for honing. Don't vendor. And the only thing you would want to do with it otherwise is sell it on the auction house if it has value. You will continue to hone your gear. As you can see here, you're going to have to, first you level up the item, which I don't understand exactly why that's necessary, but anyways, you level up the item, which does nothing to change its stats or anything, and after you've leveled it up, then you can hone it, and if the honing is successful, then it will upgrade stats. And the honing has basically a guaranteed success until you get into the higher levels. So just pay attention to that, and there's another material that you can use to increase your success chance. So basically you'll just rinse and repeat this. There's also another item you'll acquire from the dungeon and the raids called the Perception Shard. You can turn it into this vendor here and exchange it for materials or engravings, also for accessory pieces. You do need the required item level on the item you want to exchange it for, or you will not be able to make the exchange for those drops. There's also this disorder crystal, which is the epic currency, which lets you get purple and orange accessories. And the first sort of stepping stone from here is getting to item level 460, which will allow you to continue progressing through the story to get to tier 2 content. And I'll do a couple more short guide videos on the other end-game functions like the Abyss dungeons and the cube and the tower and what those are all about. But I didn't want to completely overwhelm anyone that is trying to figure out what they're supposed to do at this point in the game, since there's a lot of stuff kind of thrown at you. So with the materials that you gather here, you have one, the blue one, which is for your armor, and it's shared for all your armor, and then the red one is solely for the weapon. So you don't have to pick between leveling up your weapon or your armor. You can level up the armor, and then whichever piece is going to give you the most benefit is the one I would level up first, which is probably the chest piece, and then you can level up your weapon as much as you want. After a certain point, it's going to start costing more of the harmony shards to level up the items to then hone them, so do be aware of that, and it may be worth it to level up all your gear to those thresholds before you continue leveling up the main piece that you're focusing on at the time. So hope this kind of helps you guys out and gives you a little bit of an idea of what you should be doing when you get to level 50. Don't get too lost in the weeds trying to figure out what every single thing is, because there is a lot of stuff that kind of opens up at this point in the game. Just be aware that you need to be doing the Chaos Dungeons twice a day per character, and you want to do the Guardian raids as well. If you happen to miss a Guardian raid, it's not the biggest deal. There is a catch-up mechanic with it, but you will miss out on harvesting one Guardian soul. So if you don't do it on one day, you'll have an extra soul to harvest the next day. So it kind of helps make it up. That can accumulate up to 7. So definitely do the Chaos Dungeons every day though, because I don't believe there's a catch-up mechanic for that. So if you guys are enjoying the content, please consider subscribing. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and remember to give them the D.